Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rise or Die podcast. This is yours truly, Stephen M. Lowisz, for episode 93, The Dirty Little Secret, There's No Finish Line. So I was scrolling through Instagram a bit yesterday. Now, I actually hate Instagram, but obviously with a lot of people on it, a lot of my clients use it, I have to get very good at all the main social media platforms. So I was scrolling through yesterday and I was pretty frustrated because I'm realizing more and more every time I log on that there's only really two things on Instagram. One is a bunch of young people trying to act like they're the shit, right? Like their shit don't stink. They're just awesome. They're in an awesome spot, financially. They're making millions, whatever. The funny part is a lot of people rent houses and cars to look like something they're not. And the other piece is you get a bunch of like cheesy ass quotes that don't really mean anything. Like some quotes are kind of good. They're inspiring, for action and whatnot. But then this is the part that really pissed me off. There's like 1,000,000,002 pictures where it talks about the finish line. Like, success for me is looking back and saying, I made it. Or random ass crap like that. And I think the idea that one can quote unquote make it is just a bunch of bullshit. Who came up with this idea that there's a finish line? There is no finish line in life. When do you quit? When you have $1,000,000? You'll want more. Will you quit when you have $1,000,000,000 and turn around and say, I made it? No, you'll keep working your fucking ass off because if you have $1,000,000,000, it is not in you to stay stationary. Most people are looking at life as a temporary game. Like, okay, so we all use the idea that life is a marathon, right? Not a sprint. And that's actually a pretty good saying because it's basically like have patience. But it's still this idea that there's a finish line. That like maybe when you're 30 or 40 or 50 years old, that you don't actually have to work. And I'm not talking about just like going to work and making money, but like work in any area. People are under the assumption that once you make enough money, like life is just good. It's not at all. Now, this is chump change compared to a lot of people, but when I was 19 years old, I was already making over $100,000. I was really fucking good at my job. Sales and marketing, hence 21 LEAP. That's a lot of money when you're living at home. Let's be honest, I had no freaking bills whatsoever. No bills, living at home, making over $100K. Money doesn't do you a whole lot of good. In terms of fulfillment, in terms of expansion, it really causes more problems. And you always want more. The more possibilities that open up for money, the more you see how limited your possibilities really are. You gain greater perspective on what's out there and you want it. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm trying to get across is that I made it. There's no such fucking thing as I made it. Not at all. Life is a constant game of expansion. I will be grinding till I'm 6 feet under. And you can quote me on that. But I'll be grinding in every area, body, being, balance, and business. I'm not going to grind in one area and call it quits, which is what most people do in the business area. They only focus on expansion and money. I can tell you firsthand how shitty that reality really is. It's awful. I used to hate my wife, and now I realize, one, she's an angel for not hating and leaving me, but number two, I have the best wife in the freaking world. Now, I think where this idea came from, and this is just my little 2 cents, but I think where this idea of a finish line came from is the fact that people are getting burnt out. People are getting burnt out because they're chasing money and not actually making money because they're focused on money and not bringing value. But let's just focus on that money piece. If your entire life is focused on one area, morning, day, night, yeah, you will get fucking burnt out. If you're chasing a Lamborghini or a mansion or traveling, guess what? You will get burnt out and you will not make it. What will keep you going is coming up with this fancy but false idea that there's a finish line and one day you'll meet it. The way that I don't get burned out, I get tired. Don't get me wrong. I crashed early last night. Came home from MMA and crashed. Partly because I got my ass kicked. But that's also why I go. What keeps me from burning out is expansion across the core four. Body, being, balance, and business. If I'm expanding in business but not expanding in every other area, yeah, it feels like I'm going to it sometimes. I'm actually in a pretty good spot right now, but let me put it into perspective. If you're expanding in business but you're going to war in your marriage, I bet you're going to get burned out. If you're expanding in body and let's even say marriage as well, but you're in the shitter financially and you're continuing down that hole, yeah, I would get burned out too. If you're so focused on God, and this is where I'm going to piss some people off, if you're so focused on God that you're neglecting every other area of your life, God wants you to take care of you. You will get burned out. I believe in a relationship with God. I don't believe in religion. If you are so absorbed in religion that you're falling backwards in every other area because you're not just taking action, instead you're hoping and praying that it just happens, you're going to get burned out and be miserable. Now, you should be focused on God. I hope you get what I was saying there. I'm focusing more on religion. Across body, being, balance, and business, where are you lacking in expansion? And are you starting to feel burned out? There's a difference between tired and burned out. Tired is, well, shit, maybe I should take a nap. Or maybe I should actually go to bed and get 6-7 hours worth of sleep. Burned out is, why the hell am I doing this? Nothing ever seems to change. The world's ending. Fuck this. It's completely different than just being tired. Where across body, being, balance, and business are you lacking expansion? And what are you going to do about it in the next 24 to 48 hours? That's your assignment for today. I want you to really focus on expanding across the core four, not just business, because you will get burned out. Because in reality, there is no finish line. There's no finish line. That's it for episode 93, The Dirty Little Secret. There's no finish line. With that being said, email me any feedback, comments, questions at steven@invictus.co. In addition, subscribe at riseordiepodcast.com for some of our exclusive content. And lastly, share this podcast with someone that you want more for out of their life, someone that needs a little kick in the ass every day, just like you get from me. I'll talk to you tomorrow for episode